Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the core keywords of the original Shadowverse, which are very likely to make a return in the newly released Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Whether you're brand new to the game or a returning player brushing up on mechanics, this video is designed to get you up to speed and maybe even a step ahead. We'll be covering 7 major keywords: Accelerate, Crystallize, Invocation, Maneuver, Rally, Fusion, and Transmute. These mechanics defined how the original game was played, and many of them are still just as powerful and versatile as ever. Now, these keywords don't just affect what happens on the board. Some of them, like Accelerate and Crystallize, can actually activate leader effects as well. But we'll talk more about that after we understand the core mechanics themselves. And speaking of leader effects, we'll also explore leader protection and leader-based abilities at the end of the video. These effects can completely shift the outcome of a match, and most players don't even realize what's triggering them. The structure's simple. First, we'll clearly explain each keyword. Then we'll show you video gameplay examples so you can see how they work in real matches. Let's begin with Accelerate, one of the most flexible and consistent keywords in Shadowverse. You can think of it as the opposite of Enhance, where Enhance lets you pay more for a stronger effect. Accelerate lets you pay less to use a follower's spell-like effect instead. Only followers can have Accelerate, but when you use the Accelerate version, the follower is consumed and treated as a spell. But in return, you get early tempo, utility, or control, and that's exactly why Accelerate has been a key part of the meta in modern Shadowverse for years. Let's take a closer look at Arcane Wolf, a perfect example. At full cost, Arcane Wolf is a 7 playpoint point 1/1 follower. Sounds a little underwhelming until you read its fanfare effect. Arcane Wolf's fanfare, when played normally, it summons 2 of his other brothers to the field and restores 5 defense to your leader. On top of that, all 3 wolves have Rush and Bane, meaning they can attack enemy followers immediately and they'll destroy whatever they touch. So for 7 play points, you're getting 3 units with removal power and a decent heal. It's like getting a bodyguard squad and a med kit all at once. This is why dogs are always man's best friend. But here's where it gets more interesting: his Accelerate effect. Arcane Wolf has Accelerate 1, and the only condition is this: deal 1 damage to yourself. That's it. You take a little hit, and in return, summon 1 Arcane Wolf with Rush and Bane. Basically, you're getting a 1-cost hard removal spell that deletes nearly any enemy follower. Accelerate is all about flexibility. Need a removal option early? Use the spell. Want full value later? Save it and unleash the pack. It's easy to learn, and once you start using it well, it feels like you're always 1 step ahead. To make things clearer, we'll show you both versions of Arcane Wolf in action. First, you'll see how it works when played at full cost with its fanfare. Then, we'll show the Accelerate version, how to trigger it, and what kind of removal power you get for just 1 play point. Having both examples side by side should help you understand how flexible and powerful Accelerate cards really are, depending on when and how you play them. Let's roll the gameplay. As you can see here in my hand, Arcane Wolf has 2 numbers on the card, 7 and 1. The 7 is for the main body, and the 1 is for the Accelerate cost. Now here's something really useful. Unlike Enhance, Accelerate lets you play around the cost. You can spend play points on other cards first, then drop to 1 play point and still use Arcane Wolf's Accelerate version, as long as you meet its condition. That gives you way more flexibility in how you build your turns. We're going to play the full 7-cost version now, just to show what the fanfare does.
The time has come. I owe you.
A failed operation.
Good boy. Now comes the Accelerate effect of Arcane Wolf in action. Let's fulfill its condition by damaging ourselves and then play it as a 1-cost spell. You'll notice the card starts glowing blue once the condition is met. That glow is your signal that you can play the Accelerate version. It's a small detail, but a really important one, especially if you're still getting used to how Accelerate effects work in a real match.
No!
These flames won't burn.
Let us howl in harmony.
Let me weave
As you saw,
lie.
the board can flip fast when you use Accelerate with the right deck synergy. Now, even though there are lots of keywords in Shadowverse, Accelerate often chains with others, letting you set up strategic plays and combo
These
turns.
fists cause no pain.
Also, you might have noticed that blue barrier glowing around my leader during that turn. That's part of something called leader protection effects, and we'll cover that a bit later in the video. I want to show you a few more examples from different classes to highlight how Accelerate benefits each one in its own unique way. Here's something important to keep in mind. Since Accelerate effects are treated as spells, Runecraft can
Take your
really
seats,
take
boys and
advantage of that.
girls.
It gives them more ways to spell boost and smooth
You're
out their
done
game
for.
plan. In fact, high-cost
still
followers
go, don't
don't
you
feel as
think?
bricky anymore. Instead of sitting in your hand doing nothing, you can use them early as cheap spells to keep your engine running. Let's take Arctic Chimera as an example. Normally, it's a 6 play point follower, which might be a bit too slow early on. But with Accelerate, we can play it for just 1 play point as a spell. Unlike Arcane Wolf, there's no condition, but you do get extra value if you have an Earthright on the board. In that case, you draw 1 card and deal 3 random damage to an enemy follower. As you can see, Accelerate lets Runecraft easily chain into other spell boost cards by reducing their playpoint cost with each spell you cast. It's a super versatile keyword that really fuels the whole deck. Now let me show you 2 other class examples that also use Accelerate in clever ways.
All hail the court magician.
Swordcraft is known for flooding the board with followers. Brothers in arms will always watch your back. But high-cost cards can sometimes slow things down or even brick your hand. That's where Accelerate steps in. It lets those heavy followers do something useful earlier, often by summoning multiple units to help you keep up pressure. Let's start with Victory Blader. We'll play it as a 2-cost Accelerate spell, and in return, we get 2 follower tokens on the board. It's clean, efficient, and helps Sword maintain presence without overcommitting.
Victory is all that matters.
Let's look at
little guy
Wildcat. We
here,
don't
isn't
have the
it?
play points to drop it as a 7-cost follower, but we can still use its Accelerate version, which costs only 3 play
On the
points.
retreat!
Let's see what it does, shall we?
Nick,
Let's move on to Forestcraft, a class where Accelerate effects really shine. In fact, some of its strongest plays come from Accelerate. You can use it to set up aggressive pressure, chain together combos, or even bounce followers with Storm back to your hand, so you can replay them in the same turn or hold on to them for the perfect moment. Walder is a perfect example of a card that shows how Accelerate isn't just about early game utility, it sets up massive payoffs later. Let's talk about Walder and his Enhance effect, which costs 6 play points. Now, usually Enhance effects don't hold up too well when compared to Accelerate options, but Walder is a big exception. For every Accelerate card you've played, Walder gains +1/+1, and he already has Storm by default. That means he scales as the game goes on and becomes a second finisher in many Forestcraft decks. Now that we've covered Accelerate, let's talk about another versatile mechanic, Crystallize. Crystallize works similarly to Accelerate in a few key ways. Just like Accelerate, it only appears on follower cards and gives you an alternative way to play them. But instead of playing the follower as a spell, Crystallize turns the follower into an amulet when played for its Crystallize cost. And as you might know, amulets usually have a countdown timer when played. The same applies to Crystallize cards. After the countdown finishes, the amulet will often transform into the follower version or trigger a special effect, depending on the card. If you don't have enough play points to play the follower normally, or you're planning ahead for a later turn, Crystallize gives you a way to get value early and set up a payoff for later. It's a great way to maintain tempo while preparing your win conditions. Crystallize rewards smart resource management and timing. Let's show you some examples first. Let's take a look at our opponent playing Divine Mother's Crystallize effect. As you can see during the animation, there's a diamond-like visual. That's the key indicator that the Crystallize version of the card has been played. This shows us how a follower transforms into an amulet when using its Crystallize effect. As we discussed earlier, Divine Mother's Crystallize form has a countdown effect. Each time my opponent plays an artifact card, the countdown decreases. Now let's see what happens when the countdown reaches 0 and the condition is fulfilled.
I spin the threads of salvation. What will tomorrow bring? I can't ever let go of this umbrella.
There it is. When the countdown reaches 0, Divine Mother summons herself from the amulet, activating her Crystallize effect automatically. It's a powerful mechanic that rewards long-term planning and synergy with artifact generation.
Coming at you.
Now that you've got a good understanding of how Crystallize works, let me show you a few more examples in action. I won't be commenting during these clips. Just sit back, relax, and let the action speak for itself.
This world is a wheel stuck
The
in a
dark
rut.
of the abyss.
Heaven is where my love abides. You know where to stab to get the best scream? You know where to stab to get the best scream?
Sate your thirst.
Cut 'em, slice 'em, dice 'em! Cut 'em, slice 'em, dice 'em!
This is grave.
Eternal sleep, eternal love.
We haven't lost yet!
Priceless.
Thank you.
We haven't lost yet!
I'm
At your service.
got ahead of my.
Like, let's hype things up. Time to get serious.
Rest your hooves.
Not the worst hole.
Nothing personal. I need the cash.
I'm Alice. Another Alice. And don't change a thing.
What's a witch if not fickle? You've got guts. I've seen them.
Let us become one. Death is but an antiquated providence. Become one.
You've got guts. I've seen them.
Let us become one forever as one.
You're a solid fighter.
Let's talk about Invocation, a keyword that's as powerful as it is controversial. Invocation is a double-edged sword. It's one of the most hated keywords in Shadowverse history, and here's why. Invocation lets you summon a follower directly from your deck into play when certain conditions are met. Sounds amazing, right? Well, it is, if it works. The problem? Most Invocation cards are terrible when you actually draw them into your hand. They become what players call bricks, dead cards that mess up your curve and ruin your hand. To make Invocation work properly, players often had to run support cards like Goblin Mage or Mystic Ring, just to shuffle those Invocation bricks back into the deck. And those cards, not only were they awkward to include, but they were rarely printed, so the frustration was real. It felt awful to draw an Invocation card you were never meant to play from hand. That's the trade-off. Invocation cards are balanced around their powerful effects when summoned automatically, but they're often useless when played manually. So why could Invocation return in Worlds Beyond? Here's the interesting part. I think Invocation is making a comeback, and the main reason is a card that's already in the game, Ruby, Greedy Cherub. Ruby looks like an early indicator or teaser for the return of Invocation. Her design aligns with the kind of setup Invocation decks need, and she might be a sign that support tools are coming to make the mechanic more consistent and less painful. So while Invocation has a rocky past, with the right balance and support, it could become one of the most exciting comeback mechanics in Worlds Beyond. Now that we've talked about how strong Invocation can be, let's look at Counterplay, because yes, there are ways to fight back. Counter option 1, one of the most reliable counter cards is the neutral follower Glistering Angel. When she's played, her fanfare activates, and for the rest of that turn, your opponent can't activate any Invocation effects. This single effect has shut down key win conditions in multiple decks. Another form of counterplay is board locking, either your opponent's board or even your own. If you know an Invocation is likely coming next turn, you can try to fill their board, blocking any open space needed to summon a new follower. This can delay or deny an Invocation entirely, but it comes at a cost. You may take extra damage from leaving enemy followers alive just to block space. Also worth noting, if your own board is full, you can accidentally prevent your own Invocation from activating, so you need to be mindful of your board size and timing. In Shadowverse, Invocation has 3 types of summoning conditions. Let's start with Type 1. At the start of your next turn. This is an important one because most followers that invoke this way come with Storm. That means they can attack immediately once summoned, which makes this type ideal for setting up burst damage or even lethal. Now, Storm is always strong, but when paired with Invocation, it becomes an entirely different beast. Let me show you what I mean, but first, let's talk about Riley. She's a classic win condition for Invocation decks. Everything in the deck is built around invoking her as fast as possible. You never want to play her from hand, even though her fanfare mimics her invoked effect. Playing her directly just wastes your turn and leaves you wide open. Riley's power scales with each Natra amulet you play, and at 7, she gets invoked at the start of your next turn. Both players can track the amulet count, which makes her strong, but also very predictable. You know what? I'll show you an example where I delay her Invocation by stopping at 6 amulets and then go straight for a lethal turn. Now is a great moment to show you Riley's Invocation in action, and not just any example, but a lethal setup. In this clip, we intentionally stopped at 6 Natra amulets, delaying her Invocation by 2 turns. Why? Because she wasn't strong enough yet to secure lethal. With a little patience and forward planning, we made her powerful enough to win the game outright when she finally entered the board. Of course, if you do have lethal with just 7 amulets, go for it. But the key here is, think ahead. Think about your opponent's wards, their healing options, and how to clear the board. Alright, enough talk for now. Let me show you 2 short clips demonstrating Invocation Type 1. I won't be commenting during them, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the action.
Thy fealty. Foul forces of darkness, bow before my tempest.
It's been a good life. Love and hate are both a part of me.
Wind, grant them courage!
Gaze into the abyss.
Run! Run!
My apologies.
Invocation Type 2 activates during your turn, which means you can control when it triggers, unlike Type 1, which happens at the start of your next turn. However, there's a trade-off. You often need to invest resources, like playing 3 or 4 cards in a single turn, to meet the invoke condition. That leaves you with fewer play points to do something else, like developing your board, reacting to threats, or saving for removal. Forestcraft benefits the most from this type because it runs low-cost 0 and 1 playpoint cards, letting it trigger Invocation and interact with the board on the same turn. Other classes can invoke during their turn too, but often can't follow up as effectively as Forestcraft. This type of invocation gives you timing control and can interact with the enemy board, but its strength heavily depends on your deck's tempo and resource economy. When you're invoking multiple cards during your turn, it's really easy to mess up your hand size and board space. Like, you're setting up this big brain combo and boom, you end up burning the cards because your hand is full. Yep, just gone. Poof. Happens to the best of us. I've done it. Pros have done it. You will do it too. And that's okay. And mistake number 2, board space. Let's say you're supposed to invoke 3 cards, but you only have 2 open board slots. What happens? Only 2 get invoked. The third, it's just like, nah, no room, bro, and it doesn't show up at all. We all forget that invocation cards first appear on the field, and then, depending on the effect, either stick around or bounce back to your hand. So let me show you a couple clips. One where everything goes well and I look like a genius, and then 2 more where I totally mess up and burn everything.
A new brand of justice.
No one messes with this kitty. No one messes with this kitty. Meow, meow, meow.
I'll grab everything next time.
Hey, I'm the grown-up here.
So this is the world outside the forest.
Every piece is forged from the heart. We'll protect the forest together. Hey, let's play.
I may be a sprout, but I've got spunk.
I'm going on ahead. Hey, I'm the grown-up here.
So this is the world outside the forest. The bewitching hour is upon us.
True judgment upon your soul. Why should the dead justify their anger?
You've got guts. I've seen them.
Why should the dead justify their anger?
Must be nice having talent.
True judgment upon your soul.
Invocation Type 3 activates at the end of your turn and is mostly used as a defensive tool. The followers it summons usually come with Ward, helping you protect yourself going into your opponent's turn. You can summon multiple different followers with this type of invocation, but keep in mind, you can't summon the same follower twice per turn, even if the condition is met multiple times. In Shadowverse meta history, there were a few unique cases where these end-of-turn invocations could summon a boss monster straight from your deck. But the conditions to make that happen were very strict. Your entire deck had to be built around it. Let me show you some video examples of how this type of invocation looks in action.
Oops, too much firepower.
See? Open wide. The golden night begins.
You have summoned the Blade of Purgation here.
What's a witch if not fickle? You've got guts. I couldn't do a thing.
The touch of death bones are mine.
True judgment upon your soul.
Now's my time to shine.
Our supply lines have been reinforced. Priceless. I'll win with wealth.
You've lifted the curse.
Priceless.
Having fun yet?
No! Move out! Annihilate them!
Maneuver was actually a pretty unique mechanic in the game. If I remember correctly, only 5 cards with this keyword were ever printed. Cygames barely focused on it at all. So how does Maneuver work? Followers with Maneuver can't attack when they first enter the board. They need a material, another follower from your hand to activate. You play a follower from your hand as material, and it gets absorbed into the Maneuver follower. After that, the Maneuver follower is ready to attack or activate its abilities. The unique part is what happens when the maneuver follower is removed. If your opponent destroys it, the material used will return to the field. So, in a way, it's a built-in backup plan. Unfortunately, since so few cards were printed with this keyword, I can only show you a few examples. But still, it's an interesting mechanic worth remembering.
I'll finish
That's impressive.
Scratch my post! We're ready to sail? Cleave the darkness!
I envy you.
Give them our names, bun.
You need backup, Bear?
It's time to retreat!
You're in good hands. Let us conclude.
Maxed out? But it's a gold card!
At your service.
May battles ever be in our favor.
Stop!
You will atone for wasting my time. You will atone for wasting my time.
A new dawn! Magna Saber!
I'm fine by myself. Not the worst, huh?
Magna Transformation! Magna Saber!
Guess who's back?
You're finished. Magna Drive, let's rock! Magna Mode!
You're a solid fighter.
Rally is a very simple keyword in Shadowverse, and was most commonly seen in Swordcraft. Simply put, Rally counts the number of times allied followers have come into play. For new players, Rally cards generally fall into two categories. Number one is what we call the Enablers. These are cards that help you quickly build up your Rally count, usually by summoning multiple followers in a single turn. The second group is the Rally Beneficiaries. These are cards with Rally thresholds that gain additional effects once the condition is met. To put it in simple terms, Enablers help you reach Rally milestones, and Beneficiaries gain power once those milestones are met. As we mentioned earlier, mechanics like Accelerate synergize well with Rally, especially in Swordcraft. For example, cards like Victory Blader or Wildcat in their Accelerate modes can flood the board with followers, quickly increasing your Rally count. Let me show you one of my favorite examples, Erica, Loyal Swordsman, and how her Rally ability works in actual gameplay. I think it's better if you just see it in action. As you can see, Erica has two Rally effects. At Rally 7, she gives us an amulet, and at Rally 15, when we evolve her, we get a powerful spell. Erica, by the way, is one of the strongest Swordcraft followers ever printed. She gains +1 attack for every allied follower and amulet in play. Right now, if you look at the Rally count by clicking on Erica, we're sitting at Rally 11. Playing Erica will bring us to Rally 12, so we'll need 3 more followers to trigger her evolution effect. But for now, let's go ahead and play her and see what she does. As expected, once Erica is played, we receive her amulet. For now, let's focus on hitting Rally 15 to get her token spell. Alright, now we've hit Rally 15. When we evolve Erica, we get her 0-cost spell, and with it, 2 speedy little quick bladers zoom onto the board. We're about to finish off our opponent right here.
We haven't lost yet.
Knowing your opponent's deck and timing Erica well makes her really scary. I mean, I never want to be on Erica's bad side. She's a mage, sure, but the kind that cleans you off the battlefield. Maids like her absolutely terrifying.
Impressive. Looks like you won.
Remember when we talked about invocation cards that activate at the end of your turn? In this example, I want to show you how Rally can also trigger invocation effects. But here's the twist. This turn will reach Rally 10 without activating the invocation on purpose. This way you can see how it works when you hold it back manually. Let's get into it. As you can see, we're currently at Rally 9. So we'll play Seeker of Love to reach Rally 10 and meet the condition for the invocation. You can also check how many invocations we have left by looking at the battle log. If you take a look at the battle log, you'll see we've reached Rally 10 and met her summoning condition. As expected, since our board was full, we couldn't invoke Corpse Master, even though her condition was met. But let's talk about her effect anyway and why sometimes holding off on invoking her can actually work in your favor. When she enters play, whether through invocation or fanfare, she destroys 3 enemy cards at Rally 10 and 5 cards at Rally 15, including amulets. But sometimes it's actually better not to invoke her right away, even if the condition is met. Holding her back can give your opponent a false sense of security. They might think you're not running her or that all your copies are stuck in hand. Another reason to wait is timing. If you invoke her later, you can first build a strong board, then trigger her effect at the end of your turn to remove big threats immediately. Rather than just tell you, let me show you an example. Let's take Amelia, Silver Captain, as an example. Assume our board is empty and we have 7 play points. First we play Amelia, recover 3 play points, and return to 4. Then we go wide with Zirconia, evolve her to summon 2 knights and strengthen all allied followers. That gives us 4 followers on board, enough space for Corpse Master to be invoked. Depending on your rally count, she'll destroy X enemy cards right at the end of your turn. The second option, if you're going second and Super Evolution is active, you can play any 2-drop, then Quick Blader, then Super Evolve Amelia to give all your followers Barrier. If Corpse Master is invoked here, she'll clear enemy threats while your board stays protected. Now, Corpse Master isn't in Worlds Beyond, but this shows how tactical defensive invocation cards can be. With the right setup, you can flip the game and put your opponent in a very awkward spot. Oh, and before I forget, Swordcraft has 2 cards, Ruby and Way of the Maid, that can put future invocation cards back into your deck. Fusion and Transmute are technically 2 different keywords, but in reality they are almost inseparable. Fusion allows you to manage your hand size and strengthen a card by fusing others into it. Transmute, on the other hand, is the result, the transformation that occurs if the fusion conditions are met. I have to admit something. I'm not entirely sure if we'll see this mechanic return in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. And here's why. In Worlds Beyond, Portalcraft already has a new fusion-style mechanic, just in a different form. If you compare Portalcraft between the original Shadowverse and Worlds Beyond, they play very differently. In original Shadowverse, Fusion and Transmute were universal mechanics. They worked across multiple classes and were often part of the meta. In fact, original Portalcraft could do things like reanimate, which was exclusive to Shadowcraft, now Abysscraft, and even use rally effects, which were traditionally Swordcraft's territory. So, yeah, how Cygames designs cards can be pretty unpredictable sometimes. But regardless, I still want to talk about Fusion and Transmute, because they were that impactful. Now here's the important difference. In original Shadowverse, Fusion was mainly used to enhance a card's ability. The Fusion card did not change into a new card. It stayed the same, just stronger. But in Worlds Beyond, when Portalcraft uses Fusion, it actually creates entirely new cards, typically artifact cards. So to sum it up, original Shadowverse, Fusion strengthens an existing card. Transmute upgrades the same card with added effects. Let me talk about a classic win condition for Bloodcraft, Abysscraft, sorry, I always confuse them, that uses the Fusion mechanic. Bale has the Fusion effect, where if you've fused at least 3 Abysscraft followers, she lets you draw cards until you have 6 in hand. Once you fuse 6 cards, your rocket launcher, Bale, is fully loaded. Why, you ask? That's because on Fanfare, she deals 6 damage. In other words, you draw ammunition until you have 6 cards in hand, and then nuke the board for 6 damage. Why engage in combat when you could just use a grenade launcher? With Bale, you've got almost unlimited ammo. Let me show you a gameplay example. Let's see what happens when we fuse all 6 followers into our rocket launcher. As you can see, Bale didn't transform into a different card, unlike the fusion mechanic from Portal in Worlds Beyond. Instead, we simply strengthened her and activated her fanfare effect. Notice the yellow glow around her card. That indicates her ability is active. Since we fused 6 followers, we'll activate both of her effects. First, draw cards until we have 6 in hand, and second, deal 6 damage to all enemy followers. Alright, now that we've covered the basics of fusion, let's move on to Transmute. Grave Void Knight is my most beloved card, well, alongside Bloody Mary, and I really want to honor him by explaining his ability properly. Void Knight is the perfect example of how fusion and transmute work together. He transmutes if you've fused 3 different Abysscraft cards to him. Once you've done that, he transmutes into a 7-cost one once in your hand. But don't let the stats fool you. This version is incredibly powerful. With Abysscraft's Reanimate mechanic, you can even cheat him out earlier. What's important to highlight here is that he doesn't turn into a completely different follower, like the Portalcraft cards in Worlds Beyond. Void Knight stays true to himself. He just becomes stronger. You've powered him up, not replaced him. He's also protected by various effects once he's fully awakened, making him very hard to remove. Let me show you his gameplay in action and why I love this card so much. In this video example, I want to show how we fuse 3 Abysscraft cards into Void Knight in order to transmute him into his 7-cost version. Then we'll use Abysscraft's Reanimate mechanic to bring him onto the board. Just sit back as usual and enjoy the show. I won't comment during this showcase. Let's just enjoy Void Knight in action, hitting the gym and flexing his full power.
I'll bring you back, no matter what.
Is but an antiquated providence.
I warned you.
Too loud.
Death is but an antiquated providence.
To me, you're perfect.
Sister? Sister!
The world
It's
manufactures
sweet. I'm
tragedy.
coming. It can't
Let us
end
I
like this.
warn you.
Oops. Too much firepower.
Death
Let
is
us
but an
become
antiquated
one.
providence.
The world manufactures tragedy. The world manufactures tragedy. I warned you. I warned you.
I'm sorry.
Death
Let
is
us
but an antiquated providence.
one. I warned you.
Oh no!
Death
Let
is
us
but an antiquated providence.
become one.
A pure love, unsullied.
By your deeds, I came to be. Forever as one.
Impressive. Looks like you won.
Before we dive into leader-based protection and crest effects, I just want to say, if you've made it this far, I'm truly happy and grateful that you took the time to watch my video, even if you skipped a few sections along the way. We're now at the end of the video, and it took me quite a while to make. I'd really appreciate any feedback on how I can improve, though if you'd prefer not to, I completely respect that too. Regardless, I'm just thankful I got the chance to share my passion here on YouTube. It was a lot of fun to create this. All right. I've talked enough. Let's switch over to leader protection effects. Leader protection effects are your second line of defense against the fast-paced nature of modern Shadowverse. Think of them as Cygame's way of addressing the issues with high burst turns and chip damage that became more common over time. Now that crests exist in Worlds Beyond, it's probably only a matter of time before some form of leader protection appears in early expansions as well. If you're a newer player, this might catch your interest. We currently have 4 types of leader protection. The first one is reduce damage by X'd. This means any damage instance that is X or lower gets completely negated. For example, if the effect is reduce damage by 3 and your opponent tries to deal 3 or less, you take 0 damage. If your opponent deals 4 damage, you only take 1 instead. Some followers can also gain this effect, not just leaders. Number 2, damage cap. This is different from the first one. Here, the damage your leader takes cannot exceed a fixed amount, like 3, 4, or 5, no matter how strong the attack is. That's the hard cap. Even if an opponent hits you with a 10 damage attack, you'll only take 3 if that's the cap. Number 3, barrier. Barrier completely negates the next source of damage. You take 0, and then the effect disappears. After that, your leader becomes vulnerable again. Simple, but incredibly strong when timed right. Number 4, effect damage reduction or immunity. These effects reduce spell and follower effect damage by 1 or make you immune to effect damage for a turn. Now listen closely. These may seem small, but they're massive in modern Shadowverse. If Worlds Beyond is your first Shadowverse experience, this is something you need to know. Because of power creep and the fast-paced nature of the game, chip damage and burst damage are everywhere. Even small amounts of damage add up quickly and can snowball into lethal. You might wonder, why not just use max damage reduction instead of effect damage protection? Well, here's the catch. Effect damage can bypass max damage reduction. That's why protecting against it is critical. Many decks rely on spell or effect damage to close games, and sometimes surviving just one more turn with a well-timed protection effect is all you need to turn the game around. Comebacks were a huge part of Shadowverse strategy. Stalling for a single turn was often enough to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Let's take a look at some examples in action, but before that, just remember, even the smallest protection can be a lifesaver.
Unbeaten, victorious, ever glorious! There can only be one victor! There can only be one victor! Next time I go all out!
Unbelievable! Win with wealth.
Move out!
A glorious victory awaits us!
This place never leaves you.
Well then.
Oh! From my body grow these feathers! From my body grow these horns! From my body grow these feathers! Overexerted. From my body grow these horns! Overexerted.
I await your legends.
Can't fight if you can't aim.
You're wide open!
So that's how it goes.
Scream. Tremble.
This is what it means to be a hero. Eyes forward.
Shutting down.
It's me, your class president.
Mind over matter.
It's me, your class president. It's me, your class president. It's me, your class president.
What a waste.
3, 2, 1.
Enjoy! You're done for.
Those jabronis can hardly do diddly squat.
Missed?
Predictable.
How long before the curse withers you?
I shall end this battle here.
Not an invalid interpretation.
My sister would be happy for us.
The darkness doesn't end.
I will float on the winds of fate again. This world is a wheel.
You know where to stab to get the best scream. To get the best scream.
Heaven is where my love abides.
You know where to stab to get the best scream. You know where to.
Magnificent. Almighty passage!
I'll be winning with money and resources.
Why?
Return to naught.
From the Inferno, legends are forged.
Scatter like the blossoms. The Inferno burns hot for you.
Round and round it goes.
Can I get some praise here?
Where the ball will stop, no one knows.
And now for
Must
the
be
finale.
nice having talent.
You wouldn't.
A flash of metal, a silent night.
Red or black, it round and round it
Hone
goes.
your skill, my father.
You wouldn't.
An exemplary battle.
You will be measured. Oops, too much firepower.
This place never leaves you.
Burn to cinder!
You are worthy.
This ends here.
This isn't the end of it!
Let's get this party started.
Lightning does not hesitate.
Bless your heart.
Now this is what I call a good time.
Strive not to die in vain.
Oh, how I miss the tides!
Now's my time to shine. Having fun yet?
You will be measured.
Why? Oops. Fire! Right there! Fire!
Let's ring in a miracle. Take your seats, boys and girls. You won't take her.
This ends here.
I've still got it, don't you think?
Captain, we're out of boom balls!
Oh, you're kidding me.
Now that was a fight!
You are worthy.
Oh, how I miss the tides! Right there!
Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
Right there!
Your power is
Impressive.
mine.
Looks like you won.
Unyielding, unwavering, undying.
Intercept.
Immortal shield.
Intercept.
Class dismissed.
Silence, criminal.
My crimson arts will soar. Thanks for the business.
Don't fall too fast.
No!
The world will dance in despair.
A flash of metal, a silent night.
All the world dance into madness.
Before we wrap things up, there's one more leader protection effect I want to talk about, and it's tied to a different color. Not blue this time, but red. That's right, Shadowverse actually has a red protection barrier. But unlike the blue one, the red barrier is unique. It only appears in one class and is exclusive to a single card. Let me introduce you to my all-time favorite card, the one that made me fall in love with Abysscraft in the first place. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is an Abysscraft follower with a really special effect. When she's in play, any self-damage you would take during your turn gets reflected back at your opponent. And when she enters the field, your leader gets surrounded by a red aura. Another interesting thing about Bloody Mary is that she doesn't really work with most of the other mechanics in her class. She's one of the purest forms of what Abysscraft used to be. She holds a lot of beautiful memories for me, and deep down, she's still my absolute favorite. But instead of just telling you, let me show you how she works in action.
Blood. So delightful.
Be swallowed by the void!
The darkness is my friend! Dance, butterfly.
No!
Stop!
You will soon understand.
Oh, no.
Dissociative.
Stop! How will you?
Blood. So delightful.
Obey the darkness! I shall hold nothing back! The darkness is my friend! See? Open wide! See? Open wide! Most impressive, dearest sister.
Thank you so much for watching this project I've put my heart into. Whether you're a veteran or completely new to Shadowverse, I hope you enjoyed the journey. I'd be glad to hear any kind of feedback, but no pressure at all. Just knowing you spent your time here means a lot. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep enjoying the game.
I'm one.
I stand at the edge of eternity.
You've got guts! I've seen them.
Let us become one.
I stand at the edge of eternity.
Forever as one.
Stand! Laughable!
Impressive. Looks like you won.
I will pierce the seas!
Oh, how I miss the tides! Oh, how I miss the tides! The twilight hour is at hand. We strike.
Bless your heart.
Nothing worse than a goodie. Scream all you want! Can I get some praise here?
The twilight hour is at hand. We strike. Let me serve you, Captain!
Unbelievable!
Right there!
No.
Right there!
Unbelievable!
Nick,
Unbelievable!
Right there! Right there!
Unbelievable! No!
Right there!
Unbelievable!
Impressive. Looks like you won.
Together, we'll lay the moon low!
Ready for your orders, boss. You got it.
It's all yours, boss.
You got it.
You ain't got nothing. Intriguing. Stand down, or get massacred.
We'll ride under a moonless sky.
You got
You
it.
ain't got nothing.
Next time I go all out.
Want us to teach them a lesson, boss?
You got
You
it.
ain't got nothing.
Overexerted.
I'll mess you up good.
Class, you got
You
it.
ain't got nothing.
Impressive.
I'll smash it all.
Impressive. Looks like you won.